They say, if you don't have money, you don't have a chance with women. That you're invisible, that love is only for the rich. But here's the truth. If you believe that, you've already lost the game. Because what truly captivates a woman, what pulls her in deep beneath the surface, is something far more powerful than a bank account. It's the invisible force behind desire, the quiet confidence, the presence of a man who knows who he is, even if he has nothing but his name. In this video, we're going to expose a lie you've been told your whole life. That only money makes you attractive. We'll break down why that's false. And more importantly, I'll show you the 3 real things women crave more than wealth. And here's the good news. You don't need to be rich, handsome, or even successful right now to master these traits. Because they're not born, they're built. And every man watching this has what it takes. So if you've ever felt overlooked, if you've ever watched another man get the woman you dreamed of, this video might just shift everything you thought you knew about attraction. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear, most men will never discover in a lifetime. This topic always stirs something deep, because what you're about to hear goes against what most men have been conditioned to believe. We've been told that money is everything, that status equals attraction. But the truth runs deeper, beyond culture, beyond trends, beyond what society teaches. What we're talking about here is instinct, biology, that ancient quiet language that women respond to, long before words are spoken or bank balance is revealed. So before we dive into what truly makes a man irresistible, just remember, these aren't traits you're born with. They're traits any man can develop if he's willing to do the work. Now, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to join this journey, because the first thing women value more than money is a high-value man, and what that means might surprise you. 1. High-value men. You've heard it before, high-value man. But have you ever stopped and asked, what does it actually mean? It's not about the car you drive, the watch you wear, or the number in your bank account. It's about presence, energy, instinct. It's about how a woman feels when she's around you. A high-value man doesn't need to chase attention. He commands it. He evokes something primal in a woman, not because he tries, but because he is. Attraction, at its core, is biological. It's not what's said, it's what's felt. The same way a woman feels more beautiful when she stands beside a man who radiates certainty. He doesn't explain it. He doesn't prove it. He simply carries it. Here's where it gets interesting. Men and women value different things on a biological level. Men are visual hunters. Within seconds, we know if we're drawn to her. But women, they look for something deeper. While men subconsciously seek beauty and youth, women instinctively scan for survival. Not just protection, but stability, certainty, and emotional strength. She doesn't always know why she's drawn to him, but something in her nervous system responds, something ancient, something wordless, and it whispers, "With him, I'll be safe." That's why a high-value man is more than a title. He's a feeling. And when a woman feels that sense of anchored masculinity, she doesn't measure him by what he owns. She remembers how he made her feel. Let's be honest. While men dream of beauty, women quietly scan for something else, something older than logic. Comfort, safety, stability. Not just emotionally, but biologically. Just as men are pulled toward visual beauty, women are wired to be drawn toward what feels secure. Not just wealth, but what wealth symbolizes. The man who makes her feel like no matter what happens, she'll be protected. That's why, whether we like it or not, money often plays a role. Not because women are greedy, but because comfort is a currency of survival. A man who can provide that through his presence, his decisions, his grounded energy, becomes deeply magnetic. But here's the twist. While women often have one path to increasing attraction, beauty, men have many. A man who isn't conventionally attractive still has powerful tools. His value can rise through self-control, emotional composure, financial direction, or simply how he carries himself in a room. That's why a man becomes high value, not through looks, but through what he radiates. Imagine this. A man steps out of a sleek car at night. He doesn't say a word, but his calm, intentional movements, his upright posture, sharp eyes, and quiet smile say everything. She sees him and doesn't just notice him. She senses something, a presence, an energy, and what she feels is not just attraction, but a primal whisper. With him, I could be safe. It's not the car, not the height, not the clothes. It's the total image of a man who seems like he has it all under control. This is what a high-value man offers. And here's the truth most men miss. You don't need to be rich to embody that feeling. You just need to know how to project it. 2. Sociability. This is where the game shifts, because what most men overlook is that women are drawn not only to what you have, but to the world you move in. A man's sociability, his presence in a room, his ability to connect, to draw people in without effort. That's a kind of wealth money can't buy. Women notice how others respond to you. She sees when your name lights up faces, when people lean in when you speak. And deep down, it tells her something primal. This man holds power without needing to prove it. Sociability is not about being loud or flashy. It's about presence. It's about being the man who walks in and brings the room to life. You don't need movie star looks. You don't need $1 million in the bank. What you need is resonance, a wide circle of real connections, a reputation that speaks when you don't, a sense of belonging to a world bigger than just yourself. That kind of man doesn't chase women. He attracts them without trying. 3. Self-confidence. Here's the truth most men never fully grasp. Confidence isn't just a trait. It's an atmosphere. The third quality women value more than money is self-confidence. and not the loud, arrogant kind, but the grounded, unwavering certainty of a man who knows who he is. A confident man doesn't need to talk over others. He doesn't need to prove anything. His energy walks into the room before he does. Women feel it. It's not something they can always explain, but they recognize it the moment he meets their eyes. Calm, certain, rooted. You see, confidence reveals more than charm ever could. It speaks of leadership, discipline, and presence. When a man is confident, people lean in, not just to hear him, but to feel his stability. And this is where the real attraction lies. Because looks fade, wealth comes and goes. But a man who knows how to lead himself, that man becomes a pillar in her world. The magic happens in small moments. When he holds eye contact without flinching, when he disagrees respectfully, when he doesn't chase validation because he's already accepted himself. Confidence turns conversation into connection. It's why some men can speak plainly, yet leave a lasting mark. Because confidence makes even silence feel powerful. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need to be born with confidence. You build it. Through discipline, through facing discomfort, through doing what others avoid. Working on your body, sharpening your mind, mastering your emotions. These aren't just self-help habits. They are rituals of a man becoming grounded. The more you align with who you are, the more magnetic you become, without even trying. Because when a woman feels your confidence, she senses something deeper. If he trusts himself, I can trust him too. And in a world full of noise, the man who moves with quiet certainty stands out without ever raising his voice. At the end of the day, it all comes back to one truth. When you build yourself, everything else follows. Women, wealth, influence, none of them chase the man who waits, but they are drawn to the man who moves, who grows, who sharpens himself like a blade in silence. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be born with perfect genes. What you need is direction, intention, the kind of man who steps into the fire of self-discipline and walks out calmer, clearer, and stronger. That's the man women notice. That's the man life rewards. The message is simple. Your greatest asset isn't your looks or your status. It's who you become when no one is watching. So keep building, keep becoming. Because the path of mastery is never crowded. If this video sparked something in you, drop a comment. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe, and prepare yourself. Because in the next video, we'll go deeper into the one thing women feel, but never say out loud. See you then.